Okay, let's move on to the Qimen perspective. So in September, it's like things has been rather congruent, I would say, rather smooth flowing, at least for most of us, okay? But in October, the energy does bring some conflicting experience. So this is where we see the star and the door in the same sector. It's of really opposing nature, mismatch. Okay, so now the star actually represents the environment, and then the doors represent action. So when the environment and the doors are mismatched, you would feel like, we always hear this saying that goes, when you're in Rome, do what the Romans are doing. So this is a month where you feel that you're in Rome, but somehow you're not doing what the Romans are doing. Okay. So let's look at the individual destiny palace over here. So this one is like, whichever palace you are in, you just need to be prepared. I would say practice consciousness, because when we are not conscious, when we are not alert, not being mindful, we can be thrown out of our action. So let's start with Southwest. So Southwest, we have this hidden bright hall formation. This indicates like you're on the stage, okay, and suddenly the lights goes off, right? So, and that can lead us into doing some hasty action because we are trying to find a way out and so on, and this can bring about disaster. So the thing here is, accept that there will be obstacles ahead and give yourself some time. Give yourself time, okay, to build up and bring up. Don't rush in, right? Like, I would say, but the thing here is, don't underestimate your ability. So when I say give yourself some time to build up, it doesn't mean being complacent. You need to push on and keep moving on to make sure that you're progressing. So we have 9 Earth with Destructor in Fear Door. You want to move ahead, but on the other hand, you may be fearful. So be mindful when that thought comes to you, okay? Because what can stop you this month is if you don't have the courage to take that first step forward and you have this fear for failure, you won't be able to achieve, or you won't be able to even achieve at the average level. And if you're working for someone, you may be deemed as an underachiever, okay? So be mindful of that thought. Whatever it is, just remember, do the next right thing. Take one step forward. It may not be a big step. Take baby steps. Just make sure that you're moving forward. It's not the perfection, it's the progress that matters. Okay, so next we move on to the West. So West, we have Shining Green Dragon formation. And it actually indicates like perseverance is required, and we need to steer clear of distraction. So focus on what matters, okay? Things that bring maximum impact. So we have Tortoise with Assistant in Open Door, and Assistant style actually represent learning environment, while the Open Door indicates like you're searching for opportunities, okay? So, and when you keep on searching, it can launch you into infinite search for knowledge and you may get distracted, right? So take only what is necessary, right? So one thing over here, the theme that I'm using this month to go through this Destiny Palace is the hiking. So if you're in the West, take what is necessary for an enjoyable hike. You don't want to overburden yourself unnecessarily, okay? So next, moving on to Northwest. So Northwest over here, we have a water snake enter fire formation. And this indicate there could be temporary cessation or blockage in your progress and project. So it's like your project started, however, you can't finish, or there are some things which you have been working on, and then somehow it's like the circumstances or something crops up, and you have to stop it and so on. So the key for you this month is to set realistic expectation and target given the current condition and the existing resources that you have. Okay. So in Northwest, we have Tiger with the Hero in Rest Door, and Hero is very active while Rest Door is very passive. So this is where you will find, your energy level, that could be a mismatch. It's like you want to do things, but then on the other side, it's like you're feeling lethargy. Okay, or Cantonese, we call it some molek. So stay focused, set realistic expectation. So when it comes to hiking, you need to choose a trail that meets your fitness level. Okay. So the thing which can really hold you back this month is when your expectation does not match your action. So this is where you will feel like your energy may be wasted, your resources may be wasted. Okay. So stay focused, be realistic, make sure your expectation is realistic. Okay, or you'll be prone to overcommitment as well, and that can really stress you out. All right. So next, we move on to the north. So in north, we have Green Dragon Escape formation. And what this means is we can see a stronger force trying to take over a weaker force over here. But on the other side, it's like there could be one side who is trying to grab the profit from with unhealthy intent. Okay. So it also indicates, like on a personal level, it also indicates overcoming your weakness by leveraging on your strength. So this is where you're using your strength to overcome your weakness. Okay, so focus on your strength. You need to know what resources you have. What is it that you have at your dispense? And you got to tell yourself you already have the resources you need. Use what you have, okay? We have harmony with brain in life dog. So this is like a sense of tug of war between hope and despair, okay? Support is available, but this support can come in a matter of friends, or they can also be foe. So regardless whether they are friends or foe, they are your resources. So it's a matter of how you leverage on them. So use the buddy system. So when you go hiking, use the buddy system. You don't care whether is that your friend or is that your enemy, just leverage on each other. Okay. The thing that can really pull you down in this month is that when you start subscribing to rumors and gossips, that is going to zap your energy away. So next, let's move on to the northeast. So northeast, we have Red Phoenix diving water formation, which well, I would say can bring some argument and dispute. And this argument and dispute, it's not because of people just like to argue. It's because when you have a good intention, but then it's misinterpreted, okay, or your message is misinterpreted in some way or miscommunicated, all right? So take a step back and assess the situation from a distance, look at what is missing, what is the gap in the communication, so that you can regain your confidence and proceed with a strategy, okay? So in Northeast, we have Moon with Killer in Harm Door. And when you charge unknowingly into the wall, you will just be knocking your head against the wall and you can't get anything out of it. So when it comes to hiking, you need to follow the trail ethic. Follow what people do. Okay, you don't want to get in trouble with the authorities. All right. So one thing, yeah, if you don't have sufficient info and knowledge on a certain subject and you try to charge forward, that's when you get hurt. So we move on to the east side. So east side, we have this formation called Great Rebel enters punishment. And it indicates it's like, well, this one, there's little approval for the things that you want to do. So maybe you're supposed to make a decision, but on the other way, it's like you're not able to make that decision, or your decision doesn't receive the support that you need or that you expect. I will put it this way. But nevertheless, take your stand and don't blow up minor mistakes or build a pillar out of a stick. Okay, assess what is within your control that you have influence over, and delegate those tasks which is not within your control. Okay, you just need to make that decision and to clearly identify what you can do and what you can't do. Okay, so when it comes to hiking, it's like just do it. Okay, whichever trail that you have chosen, just go all the way, right? And adapt. Okay, next we move on to the southeast. So southeast, we have a shining green dragon formation, and it is in DE, death and emptiness. So what this means is like, well, this month you might feel a bit of loneliness, where you're being left out in things, or feeling out of place. Okay, so it's just like an overshadowed leader, where you're supposed to be the person who is in charge, or the person, the center of attraction in a certain moment. But then suddenly you feel that you're not, because you're so different from the rest of people who is in there. And this can actually make you feel like, in a sense where you don't know what to do. Okay, and just thrown overboard suddenly. So this is where you need to maintain your confidence and charisma and put your best straight forward. But most importantly, you need to understand what is the situation, what is the condition, okay, and also what is the people looking for, so that you can flaunt the right talents, right? So we have chief with brass in scenery door, just like you're going hiking in a tuxedo, okay? So it's like all the hikers will look at you, will stare at you. You're still in the center of attention, but just that you're out of place, okay? So blend in with your environment and don't attempt to outshine your staff or colleagues. Most importantly is lead with integrity. So it's a month where you need to focus on function over fashion. It's not about ego. It's about getting the things done. Okay, it's not a time for you to look nice, right? So the thing that could pull you back is when you are not blending in with your team, when you are not working together with your team. Okay. So last but not least, we have the South. So in South, we have this heaven, web and prison formation. It's like thinking too much, which leads to mental fatigue, right? And it also indicates inconsistency and setbacks. And the inconsistency and setback over here, it's not too much about what other people bring to you and so on. It's more on you not understanding and not getting yourself ahead, okay, with what's happening, right? So we have 9 heaven with ambassador in death door over here. And it's a situation where the black and the white suddenly turns gray, and you're caught out of surprise over here, because you didn't prepare for it to turn gray. You were expecting black or white. Okay. In another situation also is like, you may be thinking too much into the future, so focused as in, getting that thing done, and this is the outcome we want to achieve and so on. And you forget about what needs to be done now. Okay, so this is the kind of environment or the kind of emotions that you may get into. So if you're going on a hiking trip, you need to check the weather constantly so that you don't get yourself trapped, okay? And you don't want to be thrown into surprises as well, okay?